Thanks for tuning in, bourbon fans. I'm Tim, the Suburban Dad. Today I'm going to talk about mid-level proofed bourbons. So a little bit ago I did a video about low proof bourbons, which I classified as anything under 100 proof. So now we're looking at 100 proof to 115 proof. Let's get to it. I tend to be a high proof guy. I like cask strength, barrel proof, whatever you want to call it. In general, there's fewer low proof bourbons that I really enjoy, so I kind of have to be in the right mood for it. Higher proof, or even what I consider mid-range, 100 to 115, those are my go-tos. Today I've got my top 3 mid-range proof bourbons. Okay, so I'll just say them not in any particular order, but then I'll give you kind of a ranking at the end. Fair enough? So first one is Knob Creek Small Batch. 9 years old, 100 proof. RIP to this bottle. I still have fond memories. This is the most easily found of the 3 bourbons I'm talking about today. Knob Creek, this is the bourbon that got me into bourbon, so it has a special place in my heart. A little bit of smoky, a lot of caramel, some vanilla, sweet but not overpowering. Very, very nice bourbon for 100 proof. Very drinkable, and you can find it just about anywhere for about 30 bucks. Great option. Another one of the top 3 is Old Forester 1920. So this one jumps all the way up to the top of the spectrum at 115 proof. This one, I finished my bottle a while ago and I just haven't bought another one yet, but I truly enjoyed it a lot. It's so rich and complex. It's got a dark color, amber color to it. It's like a cherry cola type profile. Just nicely balanced and just a rich flavor to it. Very, very tasty. And now price-wise, that one's a little bit about double the Knob Creek. So this one is around 60 bucks, give or take a few. I've seen it as low as 56 lately. I've seen it as high as close to 70 or so. I would pay 60 for it. That's a reasonable price for how good that bourbon is. I'm still going to try and hunt for it under that, but you know. Number 3, another one that I've talked about before, but you might have forgotten about. Iron Root Harbinger. Harbinger. Iron Root Republic, Texas-based company. This won world's best bourbon in 2019. Amazing bottle. Overall, just super balanced, sweet and fruity, spicy, caramel, rich and complex, right at 115 proof. Now, so I've got either ends of the spectrum today, 100 proof and 115 proof. There's some in between that have been tasty, but consistently these 3 bottles have really knocked it out of the park. This one is especially impressive when you think about the fact that it's only been aged for 32 months. Not even 3 years. But that's Texas whiskey for you folks. Texas is able to crank it out a lot faster and better because of the volatile conditions that the whiskey ages in down there. So, if I had to pick an overall winner, which, by the way, let me back up. This one comes in at 50 bucks, and it is the hardest to find of the 3, because in my area, at least, I imagine it's similar throughout the country where it's found outside of Texas. You can only get it at Total Wine and More, at least around here. So 50 bucks, and it's not regularly on the shelf. It's kind of, I mean, I guess you could call it allocated. It only shows up in small amounts every now and then. I've been able to get 2 bottles so far. I already finished one. Thankfully, I had this one as a backup. And it's just fantastic. It's so good. So overall winner for price and quality of the bourbon, it's got to be Iron Root. I mean, it's just amazing. As far as findability and affordability, Knob Creek, easily. I don't mean to leave 1920 in the dust. That seems a little disrespectful, but it is the most expensive. It also is very easy to find around here too, though. I could go to 5 different stores around here and find it no problem. So it does have that going for it. But if you're looking for a nice, easy to find entry-level bourbon, Knob Creek is a great choice. Can't go wrong with 9-year-old bourbon aged in Kentucky. 32 months and 9 years. It's kind of crazy. So that's my mid-range bourbon review for you. Honorable mention, and I say honorable because I didn't want to include it since it's not being made anymore. And that is from 2020, Maker's Mark SE4 PR5, their wood finishing series release. And that one reminds me a lot of the Iron Road because it is so balanced. I would say it drinks a little bit hotter than this one, which is interesting because it's lower proof. I think it's around 110, 111 proof, I think. Don't quote me on that. But that one also, if you can get your hands on one of those, it's very tasty. I think when it was released, you could find it for like $55 at the lowest, and it easily sold for $65, $70, somewhere in there. If I found another one, you know, $65, $70 is not unreasonable to pay for an SE4 PR5, especially since it's done 2 years ago. There you have it. Tune in next time for more great content, or even just mediocre content. It's worth it, I promise. But subscribe, and hey, throw a like on this video. That'd be great. Until next time, cheers.